Hello and welcome to the East Lancashire Railway. This heritage railway here in Bury, Greater Manchester, models itself on the 1960s, and as you can see from a lot of the architecture here, we're very proud of it. This short programme I'm about to show you is how the Santa specials work. What I'd like you to do is to take on board what we're saying in terms of health, safety and well-being, but also I'd love you to enjoy the experience here on one of the famous Santa specials which the East Lancashire Railway hold. We are without doubt the biggest railway operation around Christmas time, and you are going to be a very, very important part of our team. So let's go ahead and take a look at how the Santa specials work. Santa specials and how they work on the East Lancashire Railway. Our Santas begin very early down here in the sheds, with the footplate crew getting all of their machines ready to go. Quite often the first to leave is that of our diesel multiple unit, which will go into Bolton Street and then head to Haywood to pick up our passengers who have parked there. The engines themselves are in pristine condition, as we can see here, and of course our footplate crews and guards are very proud of the work that they do. Here are some scenes that you will not normally see working on the stations, but I think they give you some idea of just how magic Christmas and steam can be. The guards will pick their two trains up from Barron Street Roads 1 and 2, and with the movement of long trains and steam engines, you must remember your own safety. Let's take a look at the magic of these steam engines as they leave the yard, heading for Bury Bolton Street. Our steam engines get themselves up the slope and are ably propelled by the diesels on the rear, which are really important to us. The guards will have prepared the trains as best as they can while they're down in the yard, but of course there's no facilities there for watering up the trains, and our toilets need to be well watered because they're going to be seeing lots of use. There will be plenty of people around, and it's important that we give them a very good impression of how our railway runs. When you get into the station, enlist the help of the station staff to water up all your carriages as best you can. Find out who the train manager is and find out who the people are who are going to run each of the carriages. Hello everybody, and welcome to our short programme here entitled Santa Specials and How They Work on the East Lancashire Railway. A tribute to all the volunteers who make it a massive success. The Santa Specials consist of two main trains between Bury and Rawtenstall. These are headed on the top side by one of our special steam engines and are propelled along at the rear by one of our large diesels. The diesel itself supplies the heating to the majority of the carriages. There are a total of 9 trains per day. They depart at 09:30 and finish at 16:10, that's the last train northbound. Here our A-class leaves Bury Bolton Street, and it's worth noting that the guards compartment is immediately behind the steam engine. The trains are assisted out of Bury, through Somerset and out of Ramsbottom by the diesel at the rear, which also supplies the electric train heat for all of the carriages, vital in these cold winter days. It's important to have the second man plug in the charging cable when your train is in platform 3. The third train that runs is that of our diesel multiple unit, which leaves in and out of platform 2. It's seen here departing Bury Bolton Street heading to Haywood, where we have a very large car park and we offer discount to passengers travelling from Haywood rather than trying to park the cars in Bury. This train runs Haywood, Bury to Burrs Country Park, and guards who do this all the way to Burrs Country Park should ensure a fast turnaround so that the Santas can leave on time. Recommend to our customers that they use the car park at Haywood. This amazingly well-lit grotto was prepared months before Santa's start by our volunteers, and it's along this passageway that they will meet and stop here to meet Malcolm the elf. He has a table full of badges. Each child should have a different coloured badge representing their age. Please try to ensure that a visible badge is there. This way Father Christmas will know what present to give that specific child. Once at the bottom of the stairs, our visitors get to see the steam locomotives, if they're really lucky, in platform 3. In platform 4 there is a carriage for storing buggies, there is a Santa shop, and Santa's grotto is also there, and you can get to see a wagon with his reindeers in. The carriages are labelled from behind the steam engine A through to G, and there are 7 coaches in each train. Here we can see people waiting alongside coach C. Their ticket will have the coach number and their seat numbers on it. It is necessary to wait for the carriages to cleaned out before boarding. At this point it needs to be remembered there are 400 people getting off and there are 400 people getting back on the train. It's very, very busy. You will already have been allocated a job by the event manager, seen here signing in. And on arrival at the station, go to platform 4, and for health and safety reasons you have to sign yourself in on the sheet here. This is where you will meet other people doing similar jobs to yourselves. Get involved, enjoy the conversation, grab yourself a cup of tea, because you're going to have one of the busiest days you've ever had, but by far one of the best. The train has arrived back in the station. It's the responsibility of our carriage stewards here to clean the carriages out, floors and tables, and make sure that things are spick and span, ready for our customers to join the train again. Cleanliness and our appearances are vital. We need to have clean carriages for our customers to enjoy their trip in. Finally, the customers join the carriage, and each of the stewards will welcome them in, showing them where the seats are and explaining what's going to happen. Introduce yourself, make friends. It's a great time to be around people. Each train has its own train manager, and should you have any problems with seat allocations, doubling up or whatever, please find either the station staff or the train manager, and they will help you out. Find out who this is when you first arrive. Once on their way, these stewards will hand out our goodie bags to the parents on the train. This contains mince pie, sherry and a lot of advertising. And while we're waiting for things to happen, sometimes we can get them singing along to Christmas carols. The boxes of goodies are prepared in platform 4 in one of the carriages by these people we can see here, who are regular volunteers. They put them into these boxes after having read on the pieces of paper how many adults, how many children and which carriages. Our porters then take them to the carriages themselves, A through G. They put these boxes in the centre door of the carriage, so passengers are not allowed to access through that door. They have to access out of the ends. If you don't have sufficient number of bags, see the train manager and we will sort you out. Malcolm the elf will have handed a different coloured badge out to children of different sexes and different ages. The presents for this are compiled onto a list. This list goes to the carriage in platform 4 here with all the presents in it. Each of those presents is put into a sack, which is then delivered, as were the goodie bags, to that individual carriage to be given to that individual child. Now our detailed operation is about to have a perfect execution. Father Christmas starts his journey at the back of the train. Will all guards please ensure that Father Christmas is actually on the train before we leave? Thank you. He has 2 people who precede him. These 2 elves here, excellent entertainers. They prepare the carriages before Father Christmas goes through, and other elves are available to help Father Christmas distribute his presents. Operationally, the departures of the train are set 5 minutes after the timetable to allow for late arrivals. However, you may find there are people missing in your carriage. They may be late arrivals. They will be ushered in at the A end of the train and will have to walk down the train to their seats. The guard will make sure that Father Christmas is on, the train manager is on, the brass band is on, and the magicians are on. And our engineers can then take their magnificent steam engine northwards through the tunnel, and the magic begins. Father Christmas will have started distributing his presents from the diesel end, the south end of the train, and he will work his way northwards, having to distribute a lot of presents in a very short period of time. Meanwhile, at the other end of the train, the brass band will have started and will be working its way from the steam engine to the diesel engine. Obviously, these two are going to meet in the middle somewhere. There are also magicians who are flitting about on the train, so guards, when you stop at a station, be prepared to see doors open and people run to another carriage to get around these groups as they're moving up and down the train. What a guard has to do is to keep contact with the train manager. It's very important that Father Christmas has at least got to coach C by the time that we get to Rottenstall. Communications are key. It is important to remember there are 2 Santa trains running on the ELR. They will pass at Ramsbottom Station. It's really important that while going through Ramsbottom Station that the Santa on either train is not seen by the other train. This way children will not be disappointed. Thank you. As a steward in the train, it's important to keep all your passengers informed and of course entertained. We've given them some sherry and a mince pie, so that should keep them going. But if you're at the back of the train, the diesel end, you're going to get Santa first, and it's going to be quite a wait before you get the brass band. Vice versa at the steam engine end of the train. To keep our passengers entertained, we've employed 2 magicians who flit from middle front to middle rear in between the advancing Santa and band to keep our passengers entertained. Please help them out as much as you can. Stewards should also note that this produces copious amounts of litter, and it's a very good idea to go through the train regularly, picking up litter. A note for the guards now. On arrival at Somerset Station, you will have to go back to the centre of the train. Whilst travelling back and on the platform side of the train, you will find that the presents for Father Christmas are in the rear compartment of all the carriages. So when you open your door, first check that you've got a light switch where you can turn the lights on for going through Nuttall Tunnel, but also check that the presents are not in your way. Don't let them drop on the platform, and please don't put a size 10 all the way through them, or some child is going to get a broken present. This is really important for our customers. Fare-paying passengers travel in our trains in the guard's van just behind the steam engine. When you arrive at Rottenstall Station, it's important to find out where Father Christmas is. Please get a hold of the train manager and find out from them where Santa is. It's important that he's got to at least carriage C. Otherwise, by the time you get back to Bury, the distribution of presents will not have been complete. This is really important for our customers and for our team. Hello once again, I'm Stuart MacDonald and I'm the guards manager, and I'm the guy who's put this DVD together for you. Your health and safety and well-being is of real importance to us, and during the days that you're on the Santa specials, you're going to need refreshment. This hut here is known as the FXP hut, and we will supply you with hot tea, cold drinks, sandwiches and probably something warm to eat. So during the middle of your day, try and make sure that you can take an hour out so you can have a rest away from what is a very busy train. Here it is, platform 2, the FXP hut. So as you can see here, we've got plenty of space for you to be able to sit down. We'll have a counter where we're serving the drinks and the hot food. Please come on down and take an hour out of your day and have a rest. Thank you. This gap here is known as the platform interface and is singularly the most dangerous place for passengers and yourselves to be because of this gap that there is between the platform and the railways. Modern engines actually have sliding doors so they don't open until the train has stopped. These, known as slam door stock, can actually be opened at any time. Passengers quite often will open them while the train is moving. Please don't you do that. Wait until the train is stopped. They're also opening in front of people who are walking on the railway. You, me and our customers. Make sure that the train is stopped before you get off wherever you are. And also be aware you're stepping down. The platform itself can be very slippery, could be covered in snow. Please be very careful when you're getting in and getting out of these carriages. Be safe, be seen. I hope that I'll be a guard on your train and maybe we can meet. I wanted to show you where you're going to work in what are called Mark I carriages. We are known as a heritage railway, and the reason we're heritage is because the stock we have is really old and of the period. These Mark I carriages are from the 1950s and have very 1950s characteristics, which are not really in keeping with what we'd expect from the 1990s or the 2000s. Let's go inside and take a look. This is where your customers will get into the train. And above all, it's important to note that that platform interface is very dangerous. Please warn your customers for when they're leaving the train, especially when you're stepping down onto a platform that can be quite wet or even covered in snow. And ideal for Christmas, but not very safe at the best of times. Let's take a look at the facilities for toilets on the train. Just here you will see the standard type toilets that we have on these 1950 carriages. We normally have 2 toilets at the end of both carriages, and as you can see here, they're quite basic, but again, this is 1950 style. There is a hand basin in here for washing your hands with. We hope to supply you with some towels to wipe your hands with. If these toilets are not flushed, so the water has run out, it is really important that you tell the guard so the next time we're at the train station they are able to load them up. Okay, this is the end of the working environment in a Mark I carriage, and you can tell where the toilets are because there's a big sign at the top. Often people don't see that, and you'll need to direct them in this way so that they can use one of the 2 toilets that we've seen at the back here. So where we've seen the toilets situated before in the previous carriage, there are carriages like this one where the toilets have been taken out, and they've been taken out to give us this space in a carriage. The situation here will be that Santa himself and the band will probably pass where 2 of the carriages have had the toilets taken out like this. This leaves us with a bit of a problem. And so our problem is this. There are 64 people in the carriage behind me, and there are 64 people in this carriage here with the toilets in it. Normally this is to the rear of the train. That means there will be 128 people who want to use just those 2 toilets in this carriage. Over 9 trains, that is a lot of we. And what we need to do is to make sure that the toilets are watered up, especially towards the end of the day. So, in amidst your duties, please, if you could ask if those toilets still have water in them, or check them yourself, it would be really handy. When they run out of water, if they run out of water, please inform me, the guard, or the station staff before we arrive at Bury, so the next time we get there we can use our hoses and fill up the tanks. and let's give our customers a really good Christmas. Thank you.